Medical aid in dying is currently authorized in 10 states and Washington, D.C. Ooh, can we expedite D.C.? California, Maine, New Mexico, Washington, D.C., Colorado, Montana, Oregon, Washington State, Hawaii, New Jersey, and Vermont. All of these are fairly recent, with Vermont leading the charge 12 years ago. It's my understanding that people in Vermont are a little strange to begin with.
Yeah.
And California is not shocking. Maine, not really. None of these are particularly shocking. Hawaii kind of surprises me. I didn't see Hawaii coming.
What?
I took them to be a lot. I had like one layover at Kunia.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever been in Hawaii. We just went down into the freaking hole and got some briefings and set up some gear and then reloaded onto a freaking bird. And we were, off to the other side of the Pacific again. What is medical aid in dying? The widely supported end-of-life option that provides dying people with peace of mind and comfort during a difficult time, that is authorized in the 10 states we mentioned. Who are we? Compassion Choices is the nation's oldest and largest nonprofit, working to improve care, expand options, and empower everyone to chart their end-of-life journey. In other words, it is another NGO. Yep. Anytime you've got signs like that are nice and pre-printed and have generalized slogans, I support death with dignity, things like that. This is an NGO, and you can bet that you've got some lovely communists behind that whole thing. Dare I even say Bolsheviks?
There, I said it. Bolsheviks. Bolsheviks. Now drink.
Get the terminology correct. Feminists with tits.
Jimmy had his finger on that button. That Bolshevik showed up fast.
I had a feeling
he knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
That's funny.
Ha ha!
Funny. That's funny. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Negative.
So, who are these? Do we have an about for these people? Because this is their site about us.
Well, here's the thing here. All right.
I'm curious. I'm going to see what these people look like. Go ahead.
With what we've just learned about the NGOs, that stands for non-government organization.
Yes.
They receive so much tax dollars that they are government organizations.
Yes.
So the way I look at it now, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Yeah.
Now, I run a nonprofit. Redonkulous operates under secondclasscitizen.org. And we cannot get on any corporate donation lists because of what we do. Because I am a savage, brutal verbalist when it comes to the communist with tits out there and fighting the suicide shit. I literally cannot get on the donation list anywhere.
Because you refuse to do it the way that they want you to do it. You want to do it in the way that a senior NCO would handle things, and they don't like that you're effective, to be completely blunt.
Well, also, I will not serve the forces of darkness. I will not do it.
You will not fillet the penis?
I will not do it.
I understand.
Listen, any system that exists that allows this suffering to go on is evil. And that's probably one of the reasons why we can't break out of the algorithm on YouTube, and we can't get on any lists for nonprofits. I can't even buy advertising, for the most part, across the internet. I've tried.
It was pulling teeth for us to get on channels 50 and 62.
Yeah. I had to redo the commercial 3 times to get on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want you mentioning the word suicide, even though they were okay with helping veterans prevent suicide. They didn't want him to talk about what he was doing in the commercial. It was the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, here seems to be a pattern with these NGOs for end-of-life comfort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 7 names up there. Kevin. Okay. Hi, Kevin. Barbara, Brandy, Trish, Andrea, Crystal, and Mickey, who I'm guessing is not male.
Yeah. So a bunch of women.
I hate to say it, but it's a pattern. Anytime you come around, oh, Charmaine Manzala. Oh, there's a Jonathan Patterson, Chief People and Culture Officer. But I'll bet you that Jonathan Patterson is gentle.
Sugar in this tank?
Sugar in the tank, light and loafers.
The two-way butt enjoyer?
Quite possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly. That just has Chief People and Culture Officers are. It's a pattern.
Fecal freak.
So this is just some pattern recognition here. These organizations, seriously, they're usually all women. All of the significant players are women.
Don't make me pull out Dr. Seuss on you.
Oh no, God, no.
All right, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm
Let's
starting
see
to
if
get
I
really
can-
bothered. That's why I'm laughing.
Let's see if I can get out of here before it's too late. Campaign for Dignity in Dying. Now, this previous one was the Compassion and Choices. This one is Campaign for Dignity in Dying. It's very strange how they have similar names and similar, compassionate feelings for people, and how they set all of this up. It all seems to be basically the same thing. Same color palettes, same basic messaging. It's almost as if they're all taking instructions from somewhere centralized.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
All right. Now, in regards to this like death of dignity thing, I have a couple of close friends that are medical doctors. One of them is retired now. And
oh my. Yeah, go ahead.
He would always get that request, like, I'm done. I just want to check out. And there was a couple times you're like, well, I'm going to leave these here for you for pain. Take them as needed. And he would leave. And a lot of time that was like some pretty potent stuff. Of course, these individuals were older, dealing with cancer, and they were done.
Yeah.
And there's ways this could be handled without having to siphon off billions of dollars of taxpayer funds to fund these NGOs.
Yeah.
In which, I'm going to be honest, is propaganda. It just is what it is.
They are most of the time serving a single master that happens to live in Davos.
Forces of darkness.
Working from a pat agenda that they are taught from a very young age, in the case of the current generation, all the way back to kindergarten now. And they also are there to siphon money, as we've learned with the whole USAID thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just money siphoning.
And Act Blue.
Yeah. Well, that's all part and parcel of the same thing. We saw flickers of this with the Acorn Foundation. Remember them? Mm-hmm. They got caught taking huge numbers of tax dollars and funneling to other people. And Acorn got shut down, but re-emerged like 3 months later.
Yeah. Because listen, there's an agenda behind this.
Yeah.
All right. They want this to happen.
Yeah.
They want to grease the skids because they know we're evil, hairless monkeys. We're going to mission creep this shit until they get to their 500 million.
Now, Pop, I know you're out of the dating game, but I want you to just keep an open mind here and consider giving Miss Marie-Louise Papworth a call.
I don't think so.
That's
like there's an apple.
That's a man, baby.
Got a madam's apple. Means there's a banana below. No, thank you.
Yeah, I was.
I saw that. I'm like, no way.
I was jumping through the chats there because apparently MGTOW had an Amber Heard moment here tonight. But yeah, I want a hard drive request on Mr. Chris Cregan and Marie-Louise. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure we'll find stuff and things.
Mm-hmm. Chris
Cregan. And listen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you, if you were to talk to these people individually, their heart's in the right place. I just want people not to suffer. Yeah, and listen, I get it. I feel the same way, in regards to certain criteria when this goes on. But I know how the human race is.
Okay, in this particular group, I'm going to call bullshit and say those top 3 right there reek of one thing:
Money.
pedophilia.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
They reek of it. That all 3 of their faces match the profile of all of the high-profile cadiddlers
Cadiddlers
of recent time. We need a word we can say that doesn't ping on the radar. Cadiddler, I think, fits the bill.
It's a new candy.
Yeah. Dr. Jonathan Romaine there also looks a little touchy on the feely side, as does Mr. David Spencer and Gavin St. Pierre. That's
nasty.
He's got the rapé look. He's got the rapé look.
Yeah, that's the same smile that he gives to women he meets at bars.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then the roofiness happens, and the duct tape, and the screaming, and the wailing, and the
roofiness.
Yeah. And then waking up in a tub full of ice, missing your kidney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ever seen that practical joke? They actually did that to a guy. They didn't actually take his kidney, but they drugged him, and then they woke up in a bathtub full of ice. And
that's brutal.
A guy there,
that's not funny, dude. I would smoke you. I would straight up smoke you if you pulled something like that.
But you have to laugh. I mean, the guy wasn't hurt at all, but I'll straight up smoke you for that.
Okay. I will give you, if you pulled something like that, it was all in unit, like your team or your platoon did that to you. Okay. Oh, now I can see some humor here, because we were some sick, twisted bastards. But if I was like at a bar as a civilian and woke up like that, I'm going hunting.
Yeah,
because there are certain privileges civilians do not have that platoon mates and teammates have. That civilians do. You do not have those privileges. There are certain humor lines you are not allowed to cross.
That's right. But it was still funny.
Yeah, it was still funny.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say this.
It's funny, but you're going to have to die. Sorry.
That was funny, but you still have to die.
I'll be holding you underwater in the bathtub. It was funny. Yeah. It was funny, but sorry, man.
It's not me, man. It's not me. It is what it is.
Oh, my God. And here comes the military dark humor, because this has been a very dark subject that we have been talking about tonight. To recap this, the assisted dying thing is catching on, and it looks very much like it's very deliberate and has a very Logan's Run feel to it. The thumb that we use for this show, the bye-bye bed, shows an actual Canadian deathbed. Yep. And it looks like they're really trying to push this. We know they want to bring the population down to 500 million. They've said it. And by they, I mean Davos, Switzerland.
WEF.
The WEF, the Bolsheviks.
Yep. Yeah, drink.
We know that they want this. And one of the ways that they're going to do this, there are several ways, but this way is to make assisted suicide palatable, and then make assisted suicide even mandatory in some cases.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been diagnosed with cancer. Oh, well, it's just this. Can't you just, all it is right now is a fleck on my skin. Can't you just cut that out? No, I'm afraid we're going to have to euthanize you.
The best we can do is kill you.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.